Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome in the Vikings Now by Chat Sports. My name is Patrick Siepman, and coming up on today's show, we're going to be talking about the Lions-Vikings game where the Vikings proved a lot of people wrong in this Week 9 matchup against the NFC North rival, the Detroit Lions. And then mainly, I do want to focus in here on J.J. McCarthy, is why I truly do believe that the Vikings have a franchise quarterback. I believe this when they drafted him, and it was on full display earlier on today in Detroit. But speaking about number 9, speaking about J.J. McCarthy, I'm going to challenge you guys here. Let's see if we can get 1,000 nines on today's show. So if you guys want to show J.J. McCarthy some love, type those nines down below in the comments section, and we've got a franchise quarterback. I've been telling you guys this for a while, and today, it really did come to fruition. So if you guys want to show J.J. McCarthy some love, type those nines down below. So I want to highlight 2 plays here to start. And really, this just speaks to the winning intangibles that J.J. McCarthy has because, it was not a perfect game by any means. I mean, he sailed a couple of passes, rolling out on the move. His pocket presence at sometimes wasn't great, but when the biggest plays needed to be made, J.J. McCarthy did that. There is 6:13 left here in the third quarter. 3rd and 7. You're backed up. Justin Jefferson also not on the football field. He went down with cramps on the play before, so he was not out there. Biggest spot in the game, on the road, taking on the Detroit Lions. McCarthy takes a snap, ends out rolling out to his right, and he makes Anzalone miss, and then the rest is history. Ended up running it in, and then I thought the coolest part of this play was without Justin Jefferson out there on the field, J.J. McCarthy started hitting the gritty, and his boy T.J. Hockenson joined him. And when he went back to the sideline, Jefferson's dapping him up, all these guys just feed off his energy. He has had this energy about him since he's been 14 years old, where guys want to play with him. They want to do their best because he is the quarterback under center, because they see how much of a sicko he is about the game of football. He puts it all on the line for his teammates and for his team. That's why you're seeing these guys, even after the game in the locker room, running up to JJ, giving him a hug. And this guy just yet again, comes up with the biggest plays in the biggest moments, but none other than the 3rd and 5 play to close the game out. I was terrified before this play call. It's 3rd and 5. KOC, trusting his young quarterback. 27-24, a minute 41 left. If you don't pick this up, who says the Lions don't go and put the ball in the end zone and you lose this game in regulation? But they're probably going to get in field goal range. So if JJ doesn't pick this up, Vikings end up probably losing this ball game. So it's 3rd and 5. He's in the gun. He hits his back foot. And also, best part about this play, that's not the throw that JJ had to Jalen Naylor. Look at T.J. Hockenson put Aiden Hutchinson on the ground. Or Brian O'Neill put Aiden Hutchinson on the ground. It was fantastic. It was blocked up so well. And really the only option that was there, Justin Jefferson was running kind of a deep in on the in the middle of the field. So that wasn't there. The only throw he had was Jalen Naylor, and he delivered the best throw of the season. He had a wicked throw to Addison in the first half when he was rolling out to his left, reset his feet, and delivered a strike to Addison about 30 yards down to the field. But this throw, game on the line in Detroit, taking on the Lions, that's what you do. That's the intangibles. That's the extra gear that this guy has where, yes, even though the stat sheet did not look that pretty today, he only threw for about $143. It wasn't anything special, but when the biggest plays needed to be made, this guy shows up and he balls out. And that's just who he is. That's in his DNA. He is a winner. He has, if you're including the loss against the Falcons, he has 5 losses since his freshman year of high school. He stays undefeated, 22-0 in the state of Michigan. And this guy just yet again shows up in the biggest moments. And this win, it just keeps on getting better and better because you're going to go back and watch this tape and you'll really see how good this guy played. But it's more of a bigger picture with JJ here. And I want to talk about just everything that was working against him. There was no reason for him to, let alone win this football game, but also be the reason why the Vikings ended up getting a victory in Detroit. First off, you're 9.5-point underdogs. Nobody was giving you a chance. We showed that at the beginning of today's show. NFL Network, all of them picking the Lions. I picked the Lions. Most Vikings fans were picking the Lions. So nobody believed in this team except for those guys in that locker room. And it was his third career start. He only had to start 2 games in the NFL before this one. And also the Detroit Lions, they were coming off a bye. This was, I would probably say, the second toughest game you can possibly have on your schedule is either the Lions off a bye on the road or the Chiefs off the bye on the road. And you just went in there and handled the Detroit Lions. And also, this was a must-win game. The Vikings moved to 4-4. If you would have lost this game, go to 3-5, you can kiss your playoff hopes goodbye. That was the reality of the situation. So not only third career start, all types of pressure on him. I mean, KOC, not on the hot seat, but that seat was warming up this past week. All the pressure of this Vikings organization fell on number 9, and he rose to the occasion. And then this last one. The most ludicrous take, the most ludicrous just comments I have ever seen about a young quarterback in the NFL was that there was a soft benching narrative. Why it was so ludicrous. If you have watched the Vikings for the past 5 weeks, they had some of the worst quarterback play in the entire NFL in Carson Wentz. I love Carson Wentz. The toughness he showed on display against that Thursday night game against the Chargers, fantastic. But he was terrible. And people legitimately thought that the Vikings were soft benching J.J. McCarthy because Kevin O'Connell didn't trust that guy. It is literally one of the worst takes I have ever seen in my life. And for all the people on YouTube, other people on Twitter, if I see that you have tweeted that, I'm just blocking you. I can't trust what you say about the game of football because this isn't even about J.J. McCarthy. This is all quarterbacks. If they had 2 career starts, how could you possibly just write them off as either being a success or being a bust? And people just wrote J.J. McCarthy off, and he stayed with it. He got a massive win in Detroit. Tip my cap to number 9. And, why did this win get 100 times better over the Detroit Lions? It's because we have a franchise quarterback. And I don't know if you guys don't believe in him, just yet, but I think you guys should. So you guys let me know where you stand. Do you believe in J.J. McCarthy? Give me a Y for yes. Give me an N for no. You guys let me know your thoughts down below in the comments section. But it wasn't all about J.J. to get that massive win. I do want to talk about 5 other takeaways I had, and we'll get to that here in a second. But before we do so, got to tell you guys about today's sponsor, as Prize Picks. Now, the hard-hitting football action is even better with Prize Picks. The weather might be changing, but the feeling of being right never gets old. So keep the season rolling on Prize Picks by getting $50 instantly after you play your first $5. Now, Prize Picks is the only app that offers stacks. I mean, you can pick up to the same player up to 3 times in the same lineup. If you guys want to pick more on J.J. McCarthy's pass yards, rush yards, and touchdowns, well, now you can't pick all of them in the same lineup, only on Prize Picks. You guys can also follow other Prize Picks players directly on the app and copy their lineups in one click. Whether it's a friend, celebrity partner, or just someone whose picks you like, hit that follow button and check out every lineup they create in the new feed tab on Prize Picks. So download the Prize Picks app today, plug in that promo code CLNS, and we'll hook you guys up with $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's promo code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. A massive shout out to Prize Picks for sponsoring today's show. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. All right, top takeaway. We got to head to the defensive side of the field here and tip our cap to Brian Flores. Obviously, it wasn't a perfect game defensively, but again, you're taking on the Detroit Lions, coming off a bye, at home, didn't have the crowd noise, and I thought Brian Flores was absolutely in his bag today. I will also say this. I cannot wait to see the blitz rate he had because it felt like over and over again it was just Eric Wilson meeting Gibbs or Montgomery in the hole, and he was just bringing the pressure. I thought he was fantastic. Got to be better on 4th downs, but again, at least you're getting them the 4th down because you're winning on early downs because you were stopping the run. Jahmyr Gibbs, 9 carries, 25 yards. I mean, if you told me that was the stat line before the game, I would say you're absolutely out of your mind. But he didn't get going. David Montgomery didn't get going. 11 carries, 40 yards. So, Brian Flores, I'll tip my cap to you. You were absolutely fantastic. It was a horrible showing against the Los Angeles Chargers, but then you bounce back and have probably his best, performance game plan-wise. Like, even though, when the Lions picked up a couple of key plays in some big spots, it was more on the personnel. It was more on the players out there on the field. I thought Flores, you felt the energy off the sidelines as well. I thought he was amazing. And, what helped out Flores, be so amazing was the defensive tackle unit. Holy cow. I mean, these guys have been scrutinized all year by myself, other people who cover the Minnesota Vikings. And one guy I was really happy for, Javon Hargrave. Javon Hargrave, I mean, talk about guys not living up to their offseason contract. Hargrave was at the top of the list, but he was absolutely amazing today. 2 tackles for loss, also big tackles for loss. Sometimes that stat can be a little bit of a fugazi, but, Hargrave just beating guys right off the rip. I mean, he probably blew up Gibbs, Montgomery 4 or 5 times, and he got home with 2 of those. And he also had an elite sack on Jared Goff. And then this guy just keeps on getting better and better every single week. Jalen Redmond, massive sack in this game. 3rd and long, late in the 4th quarter, was able to bring Jared Goff down, and he just stays with it. His closing speed is absolutely ridiculous. Great against the run, great against the pass, really just doing his thing. And then we wouldn't be here without Levi Drake Rodriguez. Him blocking that field goal, I mean, that was the play of the game looking back on it. He had a sack as well. He had a TFL, 2 quarterbacks hits. I thought LDR was amazing, and seeing Redmond and LDR just develop over and over week after week has been, a lot of fun to watch. And then also Kevin O'Connell, he ran the football today. Now, do I wish he stayed more committed to the run at the end of that game when you had the ball at the goal line and you were trying to just throw that football game away? Yeah, 100%. But early on, especially on the first couple of drives, Aaron Jones was really getting going. I thought Jones ran the ball at a very high level, following his blockers. He probably had a really good rushing yards over expected day. 9 carries, 78 yards. And Jordan Mason, obviously not having a crazy day on the ground, but still, you'll take 10 carries for 36 yards out of technically your backup running back today. Then also J.J. McCarthy had his legs going as well. But overall, just great to see KOC run the ball. And now the one adjustment I do want to see the Vikings make is you got to try to get Jordan Addison the football more. Every single time this guy touches it, good things happen. He had a ridiculous catch from a J.J. McCarthy throw on that first or second drive on a 3rd and 7. Then he also had that one jet sweep where he put his foot in the ground. Everybody was sliding one way, and he got back to it. And Addison's just too talented not to get the football. I mean, 2 catches for 48 yards. Obviously, the game script didn't really ask for the Vikings, completely open up the offensive playbook. But get this guy the ball, man. He is so freaking talented, making 50-50 catches, big-time plays over and over again. I mean, this guy's going to go sign a $30 million per year contract this offseason for a reason. He's one of the best talents in the NFL. And lastly, it was a complete team win for the first time all year. That was their best performance by far. Offense setting the tone, scoring on 3 of their first 4 possessions, 2 straight touchdown drives to start this game. Defense coming up in big spots, and then obviously special teams with LDR. And also freaking Miles Price. The guy's an absolute dog as a kick returner or punt returner. He played amazing. So top to bottom, very happy with this Vikings team. And if you guys want the Vikings to somehow win the NFC North, you're 2-0 in the division. Both wins coming on the road. So you have 3 home games remaining in the division. And it's going to be a lot of fun to see how the season shakes out. So we appreciate all of you guys watching. We'll catch you guys next time. As always, let's go Vikes.